Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on the channel. Today we will be talking about plants. So let's get started. So what are these plants about, you might be asking? It turns out there are loads of different ways that happens in plants. Plants are really useful, and once we find it, we might even find them intriguing. And once we learn, we will understand them. So let's get started. Plants are all around us, and plants really do help us in a way. Plants give us our oxygen, and plants can also take out our carbon dioxide. This is really useful once you find out how useful they are. Oxygen is the stuff that we breathe in, and carbon dioxide is the stuff we breathe out. So yeah, breathe out, breathe in. How does this work? There are loads and loads of ways for these to work, but usually they help by this structure called stomata. Stomata is really useful in different ways, but once you figure out how it works, you will be amazed by how it really is. Stomata might be the best thing ever that we have ever invented, but since we ever done a really good call once in a while, we might even find that plants might mutate. Mutations in plants might really be true, but once we get into those intriguing stuff, we might even find out that plants are amazing. Plants might be amazing, like how they reproduce and all that stuff. But however, there are loads and loads of ways for plants to reproduce in singular forms. Like you can reproduce just by yourself. You're a plant, but you can just reproduce by yourself. This is how it works. Everything here that we find out is really cool. But since we are just scratching the surface about plants by now, we will learn more about plants in the future. Once we get more plant facts, we will be able to get into plant reproduction. So let's get started on this. Plants might be really useful in different ways. This is how we have boy and girl plants and suckers. There are the male parts and the female parts of a plant that reproduce. So basically a plant is half male and half female. Some other female part of the plant can go to you, and then what happens is that the male part of the plant accepts the other female plant, so other part of the female part, and will reproduce, obviously, and do the same thing to other people. Stomatas were really useful in plant reproduction, and since you can't always open it, well, they close it at certain times of the day. Plants need three things to live. They need water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. Alright. Yeah. That's what plants need to grow. And once we get into more of those things, we will understand the reproduction of plants and plant structures even more better. There might even be parts of the plant we never knew, that we just think that we know everything about plants. That we can just shoot it and say, yeah, we know everything about plants, so we can just recreate it. No, there are probably different ways, different parts of a plant to still come. We might even be the ones who accidentally invent the new parts. So, let's go on and find out more about this plant parts and the most probable future parts of the plant. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to learn more about these plants, in my opinion, I would say just watch more of my videos on plants, or just search on the web. One thing I would like to say before I end this video is that plants might be one of those those living things where it is a really cool thing where you can't really control what it will do. Just like you can control what you are going to do, but nobody else. That is what plants are. That's the good thing about plants. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Shinhan out. Peace.